Hello and welcome to the Graduate Funding Information Center's virtual workshop. In this presentation, you will learn important strategies to utilize when searching and applying for funding and see several funding databases. By the end of this workshop, you should feel confident to use these resources yourself and understand how to conduct your searches in an efficient and thorough way. If you have any questions during this presentation, please email the Graduate Funding Information Center at gfic@unc.edu and we will be happy to help. We will be talking about 4 aspects of searching for academic funding. First, we will present strategies to employ throughout your search that will help ensure you have the best chance for success. We will touch on funding sources available from the graduate school here at UNC and then explore each database. The presentation will conclude with an overview of how to move forward once you have identified an opportunity to apply for and what resources are available to you at UNC. The first thing you can do to give yourself the best advantage when looking for research funding is to begin your search early. Application deadlines can be a year or more before the award will be dispersed, so starting too late might limit your options. It is also a good idea to become familiar with professional organizations in your field, as they can be some of the most common sponsors of graduate student funding. They may also provide more specific guidance to students and early career researchers looking to fund their studies or research. Don't underestimate the value of your peers. Many have already found their own funding and can share advice about what worked for them. Listservs are also a great resource to keep up with funding announcements. It's very important to thoroughly research the awards you want to apply for and the sponsors offering them to make sure the opportunities are legitimate. When you're looking for a considerable amount of funding, it can be easy to ignore lesser awards as not worth your time. Actually, winning several smaller awards gives you a stronger foundation to stand on when applying for larger, more prestigious opportunities, as sponsors can see your history of success. It may also be easier to combine multiple smaller awards rather than one large award to meet your financial need. You may remember seeing a survey in the fall from the Graduate Funding Information Center about reporting external awards. In that survey, we asked how students learned about the awards they ended up winning, and we got a variety of answers. Simplified, students reported hearing about awards from advisors and professors, fellow students, professional organizations and listservs, and Google. There's no one right way to search for research funding. If one method doesn't work for you, simply try another approach. When looking at specific types of academic funding, things can get confusing very quickly. We often refer to funding opportunities because it's an all-encompassing term, but here you can see some of the different categories of funding. Generally speaking, a scholarship prize or award is a one-time award used for tuition or something else, and sponsors can be within UNC or external. Assistantships are internal awards administered by UNC as jobs that often come with tuition support, a stipend, and health insurance for an academic year. A fellowship is given with an expectation that the student will make progress with their research. Travel funding can be used to get to a conference or to conduct field research. Please note that these are working definitions and sponsors can name their awards however they like. Use these as guidelines more than hard and fast rules. There are a variety of funding opportunities available within UNC. First, most departments have their own funding pages with guidance and information on common sponsors in your field, which can give you a good place to start looking. Second, the Graduate Funding Information Center posts funding announcements on our website for campus assistantships and upcoming external deadlines, so keep an eye on that for anything that may apply to you. The graduate school also has several awards offered in the fall and spring each academic year, which range in financial support from $5,000 for summer research to tuition coverage and a stipend for an academic year. The list on this slide is not exhaustive, so do go to their website and look around further. The first database we're going to be talking about is called SPIN. You don't need to create an account to use SPIN, but it is helpful to save searches and preferences. This is the largest funding database UNC has access to, and it shows opportunities for any type of researcher at any phase of their career anywhere in the world. For this reason, it's very important to set search preferences and filter your results according to your student status, citizenship, and other categories. This is what the search page on SPIN looks like. If you hover your cursor over the Preferences tab in the menu bar, you can select which categories to filter your searches by. Click on any category to edit the filter. This is how to edit your SPIN preferences. Once you get to the level of detail you want by clicking the arrows next to each option, highlight the entry and click the single right-facing arrow to move it to the box on the right. To remove an entry from the right-hand box, highlight it and click the single left-facing arrow to move it back over to the left. There are 6 different categories you can filter by: applicant location, applicant type, project location, citizenship, and sponsor type. Play around with what you filter by and see what results you get. It can be a good strategy to start with few filters and then narrow your results as necessary. Sponsors put in different amounts of detail for the opportunities they list on Spin, so you sometimes have to get creative. This is what a search result looks like on Spin. When you click on a listing, it will open in a pop-up window, so be sure to check your browser's pop-up settings if you don't see anything. This will give you more detailed information about the opportunity, as well as a link to the sponsor's website and contact information should you have any questions about the award or eligibility that we can't answer. This page may also include keywords that the sponsor used to describe their award, which can help inform your future searches. The last thing to note here is that while the information plugged into Spin in the following databases is inputted by the sponsors and usually accurate, you should always be sure to verify important details like eligibility requirements and deadlines. The next database is called Strive, which is maintained by the Office of Distinguished Scholarships here at UNC. ODS provides guidance on prestigious scholarships such as the Rhodes, many of which require university endorsement. Their database provides an overview of these opportunities and many, many more. There is a filter for graduate students called Graduate School Research. Awards listed in Strive may be internal or external and range from internships to residential fellowships to one-time prizes. You can also apply other filters to your searches on Strive. To search, you can use your own keywords, academic subject, where you are in your academic career, and location. Your search results will filter automatically, so all you need to do is scroll down and see what you find. Strive will give a short description of each opportunity. For more information, you can click on the hyperlinked name of the opportunity, which will take you directly to the sponsor's award announcement. Strive is a pretty straightforward database, so now we're going to move on to ProFellow. In order to access the funding search, you will need to create a ProFellow account. You'll be asked for an email address, username, and password, and you'll be able to save award listings that you can return to later. If you don't want to make an account right now, you can access the blog side of the website anonymously. ProFellow staff post articles to spotlight particular awards, compile lists of awards in a given field, and provide guidance on how to search for funding and how to compile an application. This is what the search interface looks like on ProFellow. You can start by entering keywords in the search bar. Depending on the results you get from just a keyword search, you can also filter those results according to the categories on the left side of the screen. When you're ready to look through your results, you can see that each award has a title and description, sponsor name, deadline, and location. To save a result to look at later, you can click the heart on the bottom right corner of the listing. To see more about an award that interests you, click on the listing to get to this page. On the right, you can click the blue button to be taken directly to the sponsor's website, and you can see a brief snapshot of the eligibility requirements and deadlines. Again, it is always a good idea to double-check this information on the sponsor's own website. You can see on this more detailed page what disciplines and keywords the database is attached to this award, which will help you identify helpful keywords for future searches. At the bottom of the page, ProFellow links to similar fellowships in its database, which can be very helpful if you find a great opportunity but realize you aren't eligible to apply. You can look at the related fellowships to see if there are any similar awards that you do qualify for. ProFellow also includes links to blog posts that spotlight similar awards or other opportunities in the field. This is what the ProFellow blog looks like, and you can see the variety of topics they post about. Weekly lists of upcoming deadlines, featured fellowships, tips from fellowship winners, application guidance, etc. If you get stuck during your search and don't know what to do next, ProFellow may have some advice that can help. Mendeley is more commonly known as a citation manager, but it also hosts a funding database that is similar to ProFellow. You will also need to have an account in order to access this database, which will allow you to save searches and individual awards to go back to later. In addition to searching for fellowships and awards, Mendeley allows you to search for sponsors as well. This is what the main funding page looks like. You can begin with a keyword search in the search bar, or by selecting a research field, or the type of funding you're looking for. If you select Browse Funders above the search bar, you can conduct a keyword search for sponsors with awards listed in the database. This can be helpful if you're looking for an award to apply for from a specific sponsor, like the National Science Foundation or National Institutes of Health, who both offer multiple awards each year. Mendeley can show you a sponsor's profile, which will give you information about the types of projects that sponsor funds. For example, you can see what research areas have received funding, what types of funding the sponsor offers, and even a list of previously awarded grants. The amount of profile information will vary from sponsor to sponsor, but it can be a good way to learn a little bit about the organization, funding, and opportunity you want to apply for. This is the results page on Mendeley. On the left side of the screen, you can set relevant parameters: your research area, the type and amount of funding you're looking for, your citizenship, a deadline window, your academic status, and if you're looking for opportunities from a specific funder. You don't have to use all of these filters, and some may not even apply to you, but play around with them and see how your results change. When you click on a listing, this is what the page will look like. Mendeley will provide a description of the award, award amount, eligibility requirements, and contact information for the sponsoring organization, and you can easily click through to the sponsor's own website to verify the information. Further down on the page, you'll be able to see the keywords Mendeley has attached to the listing and incorporate those into your future searches. Like ProFellow, Mendeley also has a blog feature where staff publish articles with tips for applying for awards from certain sponsors, advice for submitting complex applications, and more. This next resource isn't really a database like the other tools we've been talking about, but the UNC External Award Winners List can be another means of finding possible funding sources. This is a list of UNC graduate students who have self-reported winning external funding awards, and you can use the information in a variety of ways. You can scroll to your department and related departments and see what awards have been won in recent years and consider applying for them yourself. You can also see if any students in previous years have won an award that you want to apply for, and consider reaching out to them to ask for advice or their experience receiving the funding. We've already talked about Strive, UNC's funding database, and now we're going to touch briefly on a few other funding databases that are maintained by universities. This list is not exhaustive, but these are some good examples of university databases that are not restricted to students of that university and that list opportunities with external competitions. Each has slight variations in the categories you can filter by, but function much like Strive. The most important thing to remember when using another university's funding database is that some awards may be restricted to only students of that university, so you will want to pay extra attention to the eligibility requirements. The following slides are a collection of funding opportunities grouped by subject area and are intended to give you a place to start. Even if the opportunities listed in your discipline aren't quite right for you, it can be helpful to narrow down what you don't want in order to determine what you do want. The Graduate Funding Information Center also has resources for students who have identified research funding sources and are ready to apply. The Successful Proposals Collection is a searchable database of UNC graduate students' research proposals that have been awarded funding. You can use this database to get a feel for how research proposals are generally written and search for proposals for opportunities you're specifically interested in. If you have been awarded research funding while at Carolina, please consider submitting your proposals to the Graduate Funding Information Center to be added to this database and help future students. The UNC Writing Center is also available online and by appointment for personal help and guidance during your writing process. One of the funding databases we've discussed already, ProFellow, also has many useful articles about proposal writing and application tips. Additionally, many universities and higher education websites have their own proposal writing sections. We hope this virtual Identifying Funding Sources workshop has been helpful. To conclude this presentation, we have pulled out a few key themes that we hope you will take away with you. First, begin early. Generally speaking, larger awards have a longer time between the application deadline and disbursement date. By leaving yourself enough time, you will also be less likely to become overloaded. Another important thing we hope you have learned is to think broadly about how to fund your research. Your end result could be the same whether you apply for one large fellowship or combine several smaller scholarships. Start as broadly as possible and narrow down as necessary. It is important to conduct your funding search efficiently to not get bogged down in awards that you aren't eligible for or don't fit your needs. Preparing ahead of time, which may include understanding what exactly you want financial support for, the duration of support you need, if you're interested in a mentorship, and sharing experiences with students and faculty in your field, can help enormously when you're ready to use tools like SPIN or ProFellow. Finally, we hope you will be persistent in your search. If there is one message you leave this workshop with, we hope it is that you realize that searching for research funding may take time. It may be easy to become discouraged, but new funding opportunities are being posted every day, and you never know if the next time you log on to Strive or Mendeley, you will find the perfect award. Thank you for listening to our virtual workshop. We hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions or would like to make an appointment for a personal consultation, please email us at gfic@unc.edu.